Introducing DSJAS, the next big thing in the world of scam baiting. Hopefully. So, you want to get into scam baiting? You're certainly not the first. Well, good news for you. There's already incredible tooling with scripts for setting up virtual machines to be stealthy, and things like setting up your network to isolate Windows virtual machines from everything other than outbound connections to the external network. However, I noticed recently that there was a gap in the demand for this tooling. In fact, there was an entire area of tools that had been completely untapped by anyone. The only tools I could find which existed for this category were those which had been created by people for their own personal projects, such as streamers or video creators. So, I decided to try and fix that. If you think about the parts of a scam, usually you start out with being sold what they're trying to sell you, and then, at the final stage, they try to collect your payment from whatever methods possible. That, right there, is the gap. It's completely impossible or extremely difficult for us to spoof a bank account or a financial website like Cash App or Western Union. And the reason for this is that we can't set up an anonymous account for these as they're all dealing for money. For example, you need to have government-issued ID to even think about setting up a bank account, and then there's the prospect of trying to put money into it, and then keep your personal info out of the equation. There's just too many variables, and it just doesn't work. In general, your best bet is to try and set up some kind of fake bank account program. However, that's easier said than done. Until now. Meet DSJAS. So, what actually is DSJAS then? Well, DSJAS solves the problems that we previously mentioned by emulating a banking website on a local server on your computer. You can visit this banking website and log into accounts and do everything you could with a normal bank, but without handling real money, real personal information, or anything like that. In addition, we've added useful features in order to make it so that you can make the experience of the scammers while attempting to use the site as difficult and frustrating as possible. In an attempt to make it so that the website can't be recognized under any circumstances, the site has full theming support, meaning that you can download themes from other users and write your own to make the site look the way you want it. And, as our motto for the extensions go, no two instances should look the same. I think it's rather difficult to understand some of the more advanced features of DSJAS without a visual example showing how the themes and things work. So, I'll demonstrate quickly how features like themes and modules can work alongside the site in order to change how it works, how it looks, and how it behaves. Let's start out with the easier to understand of the pair. Themes. As you can see here, I'm in the DSJAS admin panel. This is the location where you will change settings of the site, including switching themes or installing new ones. I'm going to demo switching between two themes to show how they affect the overall appearance of the site. In order to demonstrate the new way of theming DSJAS, I'm going to use the Modules and Themes settings menu in the DSJAS admin panel. As you can see, I currently have the theme Test Theme active. I'm going to activate the default theme to show you how it looks out of the box. You can see that DSJAS states that it's enabled the theme. If we then go to the site, you can see that we have the default theme here. However, if I go back and enable Test Theme, which is a theme that I ported from a GitHub repository called Felicity Bank, if we refresh the page, we can see that the site looks completely different. If we then switch back and refresh the page, you can see that we immediately get back to the other theme. This shows how themes can be powerful and can make the different instances of DSJAS completely unrecognizable from each other. In addition, you can upload your own theme packages or install them from developer websites. And you can also make your own themes with the guidance of our wiki page. Let's now move on to the more complicated sister of themes, modules, or as they're strictly called, client modules. You can see once again I'm here in the DSJAS admin panel, ready to change the settings of the site in order to enable and disable themes and modules. In this case though, we're going to be doing modules. I'm going to demonstrate the modules feature of DSJAS by going to the modules panel in the modules and themes settings section in the main admin panel. I'm going to switch over to the modules tab. As you can see, I have two modules installed, example and an especially frustrating login process. The especially frustrating login process, as the name and description suggest, makes the login process very long and frustrating and pretty unfun for scammers to go through. I'm going to enable the module and then save my settings. You can see that DSJAS says that our settings were saved. If we then switch over to the bank tab, which has got the main bank in it, and go to the login page, you can see that there's been text added to the bottom, which says that this login form is protected by frustratingly good security. You can see that also though, if we disable the module and save, then if we go back to the login form, then that text disappears, because that was being added by the module. I'm going to re-enable it so that I can show you exactly what it does. Essentially, the frustrating login process module will make the login process frustrating by adding lots of captchas and behavior. For example, you can see one of them here. If I disable the module and then try again by refreshing the page or clicking cancel, if I just type in some example credentials here, you can see that that behavior isn't there. I'm going to enable it again to go through the entire process to show you. So I'm going to type in those credentials again, and you can see that there's plenty of little Easter eggs and things to make this a funny module. In fact, typing in 420 or 69 into the box will always be accepted as the correct answer regardless of what the problem was actually asking. This should show you the power of modules, as they're able to, pretty much 100% of the time, add something to the site which will be useful or make the scam baiting effort a lot easier to do. That's the power of modules, changing the bank's theme to add or change features to make it more viable for a scam baiting operation. So, that's all the demonstrations, and that's going to be pretty much everything for today. Thanks for watching the introductory video to DSJAS, and hopefully you'll catch us when the public beta launches within the next few months. I'll see you there. Thanks for watching this introductory video to DSJAS as a new and upcoming piece of software. As you may know, DSJAS is still in heavy development, and probably won't be finished for a little while yet, while we still iron out bugs, add in missing features, and complete out the overall look and feel of the site. DSJAS is free for download and is open source on GitHub. We support the open source initiative at opensource.org. DSJAS is licensed under an MIT software license. And as always, thanks for watching.